What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to another Spud Cup race day. Last week for round 5 I wasn't able to race, so it's safe to say I was very excited to come back this week for round 6 and I was not disappointed. So let's jump in and see how this race went. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Spud Cup race day. This round we're going down to America to race at Road America. This is a very, very long track that is definitely going to provide some very interesting overtakes on the straights, and it is crucial to get some good releases out of these corners leading into the long straights. Today's track length is a total of 6.41 kilometers with a track temp of 41 degrees Celsius. Jumping over to our Heat 1 results, we'll see exactly how everyone shaped up after our sprint race today. We have Mixter in P1 with Aiden followed closely behind in P2. Below then we have Munker, Sketch, Tim rounding out our top 5 positions with Josh, CJ, and myself down into P8. I didn't have a very good sprint, so it's going to be a tough race today. Matthew in P9, Jeff in P10 with Hiller, our very first debut race here in the Spud Cup in P11. Small grid here today, but it's going to be a very, very interesting race nonetheless. Let's jump down to the grid, get ready to see these drivers head off and start the race. So here we are on the grid, ready and waiting for the marshal on the top right to wave the flag, get ready for this race to head underway. We currently have eyes on our race leader so far as Mixter in pole position, and the cars go off. A lot of smoke billowing from the right-hand side of the track. Tim moving on the inside. We have Sketch right behind, Aiden in P2. Look at the cars barreling down in front of us. So far, so good. Everything looks pretty clean. No one really got left too far behind, and we do have a very small, tight pack. We're going to have Mixter here on the inside, Aiden following through on the out. So far, so good. No carnage through turn 1, which is definitely a promising start to today's race. Look at these Mazdas race down this track. This is going to be a very, very interesting set of corners here. We have turn 1 and 2, which are very, very tight, and the cold ties here on the MX-5s are definitely going to provide some very, very interesting moments in these first 1 or 2 laps here. So we have Aiden, who has actually squeezed his way out into P1 with Mixter followed very, very closely, very, very close behind. Sketch in P3, 3 tenths behind. Munkus only 2.5 tenths behind him. This is going to be a very tight race in these first couple of corners heading through lap 1. Mixter not letting Aiden go. Aiden trying to make a bit of a distance, but he can't. Going through the hairpin here. Everyone really throwing the cars through. So far, so good. I can't see any carnage. Everybody's still out on the track. No one has had any issues just yet. I am very, very surprised. Very happy, but very surprised. CJ and Josh having a good battle side by side through that left-hander there. We can still see Aiden out in front now with a 3/10th lead on Mixter, and Mixter having a 1.4 second difference. CJ and Josh are changing positions side by side, followed right behind me. I'm very, very close to them. Look at how close these cars are. You can see myself just made a move there on Matthew. I'm getting closer to the guys out in front. Josh just in front of me with CJ, just in front of him. Matthew beaming down the back of the car here, jumping on board now. We're right here with CJ. You can just see how tight these drivers are. Very, very close. 2.5 tenths. Josh right behind CJ. I'm only 2.5 tenths behind him. Looking behind CJ's car, you can see Josh right behind him. I'm chasing down Josh. This is already so much action throughout lap 1. These are very, very long laps. We're about a 2.5 minute lap here at Road America. Josh going a little bit wide there, nothing too crazy. This is a very, very long lap here at Road America. So it is there's a lot of opportunities to make overtakes. There's a lot of opportunities to set yourself up to do some overtakes. And this is going to be a very interesting first couple of laps here at Road America, setting the pace. You can see Tim's gone wide. Tim's gone wide. I can't even get contact with the car. Tim's gone wide now down into P10. Getting the pack has overtaken most of those drivers there. Josh is now down into P7. Myself up into P6. Matthew right behind me. This is going to be very, very close. Is Matthew going to get on the inside? He does. Matt gets on the inside of Josh. Makes the overtake early. Lap 1. Already positions have changed. I've gone from P8 to P6. Matthew is now on P7. This is going to be a very, very interesting close race across the board, I think, here today. Looking at our leaders here, Aiden has now done the fastest lap of the race, who's beaten by Sketch at a 2:53 to 2:43.2. Now you can see Mixter and Aiden. Look at how close they are. Looking at Aiden, Mixter is right behind. He backs up a little bit to let the car come through turn 1. You can see Sketch and Munkus right behind them. Sketch getting a little bit squirrely through that first part of the corner, but that just comes down to those cold tires being absolutely ruthless. Aiden now still in P1, half a second lead here on Mixter. Aiden's going to settle in now, trying to get some heat in the tires, trying to keep his distance, and that's going to be absolutely crucial. If you can fall out of that or get away from that slipstream with the car behind, then you can definitely do some damage. Let's jump down to Matthew and Josh now. You can see them changing positions. Very, very close racing by the guys here. Look at how close Josh and Matthew are here. Matthew tucking in right behind, only 1.5 tenths. This is going to be a very, very tight battle here. Going through the hairpin is going to be absolutely crucial. Josh gets out in front. Matthew tucks in right behind. Matthew goes very wide to set himself up for a good release of this hairpin. This is very, very close. I wouldn't even call it a hairpin. It's a very hard left hand, but it definitely feels like a hairpin when you're coming downhill braking into that part of the track to then go under the bridge into an unknown left-hand turn. Makes it very, very difficult, but Josh is doing a great job there holding on to his position and keeping that P7 secluded for himself. Now Matthew still 1.5 tenths behind. Very, very close. Tim now getting in the striking zone to get nice and close up to Matthew. Munkus and Sketch are making changes. We're going to jump up to the front of the grid. You can see Munkus and Sketch very, very close, but Munkus gets past him. A little bit of damage on the front of the car there. I don't know what that's from, but still very, very close. Let's jump down to myself and CJ as well. This is a bloody good battle as well. Look at how close we are. So freaking close. Oh my God. Can I make a move here? Am I going to slip up on the inside here of CJ? I don't know if it's going to actually happen, but we're going to give it a great hot go. My God, flying past this part of the track, side by side here with CJ. CJ loses the position. I make it up from 6th to 5th. We've started in 8th. We're now in 5th. We're doing a bloody good job so far. I'm very, very happy with these results so far. We're going to quickly jump down the grid as well and see Tim. He's very, very close here to Matthew. He doesn't make a move. He was thinking about it. He put his nose in, but he didn't quite make the overtake happen. He's going to take his time, get the right moment, and then get his overtake stuck in. We're going to jump back as well up to Aiden and Mixer in P1 and 2. These guys are definitely showing an incredible race nonetheless. Tim still closing in. We're going to have to jump back down again to Tim. Tim is now making the move on the outside of the double right. He's not going to be able to make it stick. Oh, he can! He just gets past him! I cannot believe Tim has made an overtake on the double right there on the outside of the double right. Not even, I do apologize. That's actually the final turn. It looks like they're in the double right, but they weren't. Mixter now getting past Aiden, going down into turn 1. This is going to be very, very close. There's so much tight driving across the grid, even though there's only 10 of us. It is absolutely freaking insane. I'm losing all track of where the bloody corners are. Mixter now getting out to P1, 2.5 tenths in front of Aiden. This is such good driving. There's going to be a lot of back and forth and a lot of changing positions across today's race, but it is a 40-minute race, same as the rest of our season 4 here in the Spud Cup. It is a 40-minute session. You do not have to pit, but you will not make it to the end on fuel, so you'll have to come in at one point to get fuel. You don't have to get tires, you don't have to do anything else. You do get a fast repair, but you will have to come in at one point to get fuel. So be very interested to see people's strategy for their pit stops here today. Aiden very, very close here to the back of Mixter's car, backing off a little bit. Aiden now 5 tenths behind, but look at how tight that corner was there for Aiden. He's gone from 5.5 tenths down to 2.5 tenths with a very, very commanding run here on Mixter, tucking up right hand behind that MX-5 that Mixter's in control of today in car number 18, doing a bloody good job. This is absolutely insane. One of those races that I know there's going to be so much back and forth on positions. Everyone looks to be now they're settling into their positions so far. We have Mixter out in front, 3 tenths in front of Aiden, and these two are going to go back and forth for the next couple of laps. I can only feel it. Mixter getting a little bit loose there in the rear end of that MX-5. It goes off a little bit. He loses control just a little bit going into the double right. That gives Aiden the chance to overtake, and he does. Aiden's back out in front. Mixter 2.5 tenths behind, and Munkus now 7 tenths and closing on Mixter, getting back up into those podium positions. Just when I said everyone was going to settle into their positions, everything is now changing. Josh is now within striking distance of CJ. Munkus is in striking distance of Mixter. Mixter's lost the lead. This is absolutely insane. Just when I think everything's going to settle in, it all changes, which is exactly why we love the Season 4 here at the Spud Cup. Absolutely mental. Mixter and Munkus are now 3 tenths respective of their cars in front. I'm 5 tenths behind Sketchkov, and you've got Josh 4 tenths behind CJ, and Tim 6 tenths behind Josh. Everything is just bunched up. I don't know what happened. Munkus really putting a lot of pressure here on Mixter. Look at how close he is driving to the back of that car. Absolutely insane. 140 kilometers over the left here. You can barely see the road coming over. You've really got to commit and just feel where the corner is going to be. This is going to be a very, very tight line here. Munkus' front of the car looks absolutely battered and bruised. That is just an unfortunate way to start today's race, but it is definitely going to set the precedent of what this rest of the session is going to look like. Absolutely insane. Super, super fast driving down the main straight, and you can see just how long this main straight is. You've got Tim 1.8 tenths, Mixter 2 tenths behind Aiden. This is very, very close. There's a lot of drivers very close to everyone on the grid so far. Let's jump a little bit further down the grid and see exactly what is going on. I'm going to be making a move here on Sketchkov. I'm less than half a tenth behind. This is going to be so close between us. Side by side through turn 1. I'm on the outside. Sketch, does he back off? He doesn't. We're still going side by side through turn 1. Sketch now tucks it behind. I've made my way up into P4. Sketch is still very, very close to us. Look at how tight he is right behind me. He is only 3.5 tenths behind going through turn 3. This is very close. Oh my God. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Josh now 2 tenths behind Tim. Tim 4 tenths behind CJ. Matthew has backed off a little bit, as is Jeff. I don't know if there's a little bit of carnage or a bit of accident further down the grid. We'll have to go back and have a bit of a look. Aiden now very, very close to Mixter. Let's jump up to our leaders. You can see Munkus 2.5 tenths in P3. Aiden very, very close. Sketchkov making a move here on myself. Going through that tight left-hander that we call the hairpin. Very, very close, but that gives me a good run. I'm going to make a run up on the inside. There, I remember this battle here between me and Sketch was very, very close. I think Josh is having a little bit of issues as well because he's gone a little bit further down the grid. What is going on here? I think Josh might have gone off. I think he might have gone a little bit wide through that left-hander because Matthew and CJ have both passed him, and there's now a 2-second difference. Josh is definitely going to be able to pick that back up, so we'll keep an eye on him and check back in a little bit later. You can see Sketchkov, I'm still in front. I managed to get back in front of him. There's now 4-second difference to the guys out in front, and Sketchkov still banging on the back of my car here. This is going to be one of those interesting races. I remember halfway through the session thinking that the guys out in front, even in quali and in the practice sessions prior to our feature, the guys in the top 3 positions were absolutely rapid here in the MX-5 at Road America. It was just impossible to match their pace. You can see still 4.5 seconds at the halfway point of this lap. I could almost feel by the end of lap 4 here, they are going to be well and truly into the 5-second lead. This is just going to be such a tough thing to catch them, but you can see Sketch and I having our own little race. 4.5 tenths is between us. Matthew only 4 tenths behind CJ, and CJ 6 tenths behind Tim. There's just really good racing across the grid, and it's going to be very, very tight from start to the finish. We're at the 25% mark of today's race, 10 minutes into our 40-minute session. Currently on lap 4. It's crazy to think that we've only completed 4 laps of today's race. Josh getting past Matthew. What's happened here? Has Matthew had a bingle? I don't think he has, but Josh has just got past him. Josh is now going to get past CJ as well. What is going on here? Josh just put the nitrous on his MX-5. Absolutely insane. Can Josh get past him to the final turn? Let's see what's going on here. CJ goes a little bit wide. Josh tucks in right behind him, but he's going to get the slipstream. This is going to be very close. Look at the absolute insane speed on him. 150 kilometers an hour. He tucks on the outside. Let's see how this goes. They're going to be side by side going through turn 1. What is going to happen here? Who is going to get on the brakes earlier? Josh trying to force CJ to take the absolute widest line as possible. Josh trying to keep on the defensive. This is going to be very tight. Less than half a tenth between them going into turn 1. The bloody trees are in the way. We can't see a damn thing. Looking at CJ. He's on the outside. Josh on the inside. Can Josh make the move stick? He can't quite make it stick through turn 1, but he's still going to be on the inside here for turn 2. Only half a tenth between them. What is going to happen? Very close. Josh moving to the right here just to keep it clean. This is very, very tight. That is a very tight corner as well. You're dropping down to the second gear. CJ doing a freaking amazing job by keeping out in front. Absolutely insane driving here, but this is not over yet. These two are still going to be battling it out through that hard left-hand corner. I hope the bloody trees, and there they are. They're going to get in the way yet again. Cannot keep ourselves in the camera. Hopefully we can go back. Can we see? Still nothing. It's like the foliage race here today. Matthew going wide. CJ on the inside. Josh tucks right in behind up into P8. He goes a little bit wide, but that's going to give Matthew the opportunity to tuck his nose in. Is Matthew able to make an overtake here? Matthew is half a length up into Josh's car. Matthew gets on the inside. That was absolutely insane. I didn't mean to smack my hands in front of the microphone, but I'm just freaking excited watching this race. Matthew gets him on the inside. Car number 7 has just made it up from P9 into P8. Josh now down into P9. CJ is only 4 tenths in P7 in front of Matthew in P8. This is absolutely insane racing so far. And like I said, we're only 12 minutes into a 40-minute session, so we're going to still do pit stops. We've still got to get some fuel. This is going to be absolutely mental. I cannot wait to see what everyone's strategy is going to be and what everyone's going to do by the end of this race here today. Let's have a look now at sectors and see exactly what our sectors are looking like across the board. We're going to jump up to Matthew and get a good look at CJ and Josh. You can see Matt is faster in Sector 1 and 2 than CJ, but slower in Sector 3. And Josh is slower in Sectors 1 and 3, but still faster in Sector 2. This is going to be very close to the guys here. You can see Matthew making a move again. Matthew's going to make a move on the inside here of the last turn. Sorry, second last turn. Is he going to make it stick? Matthew and Josh are faster in Sector 4. This is so close. Josh goes wide. Oh my God, Josh goes wide. Josh goes wide. He goes out into the dirt, but he can't. Oh God, he keeps it on the track. He's now 2.5 tenths, 3 seconds, 3.5, 3 seconds is a difference. This is absolutely mental. Let's quickly jump up to Matt. Matt's making a move on CJ. Final corner. CJ tucks it back in and gets out in front of him. Matthew tucks in right behind. Final corner down the main straight. This is absolutely insane. Aiden as well. Let's jump up to our leaders. Look at how freaking close these guys are. I wish I could show you, but the trees are always in the bloody way. Mixter out in front. Aiden in P2. Munkus in P3, absolutely insane. Mixed up 4/10 lead. Munkus only 2/10 behind Aiden in P3. Look at how close these drivers are. The scary thing about this whole situation is that Lord Munkus has a lot of front damage to the front of that MX-5, which is definitely going to be hindering his straight line performance, and he is still right on the back door of Aiden in P2. Absolutely insane racing. I'd hate to think what his pace would be like with a perfectly clean car. Let's jump now down to myself and Sketch. You can see us right behind. There's now 6 seconds of a difference between me in P4 and Munkus in P3. I told you they were going to start pulling away. I just didn't expect it to be that severe that quickly. Sketch now 2.5 tenths behind me. Look at how close he is, putting a pressure on the back door of this MX-5 here that I'm driving, the Midnight Tune Company MX-5, which is just probably the best livery on the grid. No shame. You can see Sketch tucking in right behind. Absolutely freaking insane. Sketchkov is now 5 tenths behind. Matthew jumping down into P8. Let's quickly have a look at them as well. Matthew is very, very close. Less than a tenth. He's going to make a move. He does. He makes a move on CJ. He makes a move, but CJ still has the advantage on the inside line through the following corner. Can he make it stick? Can Matthew follow him around the outside and get the position nailed? He can't quite get it to happen, but they are bloody close, side by side. Matthew now gets the advantage heading into the left-hander. CJ gets very late on the brakes. Matthew trying to slow down a little bit faster. CJ tucking in behind Matt, and Matt makes a successful overtake, getting himself from P8 up into P7. Josh is now 1.2 seconds. I'm going to quickly remind you, Josh was 3.5 seconds down in the last lap when he had his little off track. He is now 1.2 seconds down, so he has made up 2.5 seconds in this last lap alone, which just goes to show the improvement and the pace that Josh is bringing to the table here today in round 6 of season 4 of the Spud Cup. Let's jump up to Sketch as well. Sketch is now 3.5, 4 tenths behind myself, going through the final turn here, heading into the last back straight of today's race. This is very, very close. Very, very close here. Going up to the final corner now. Sketch 5 tenths behind, 6.5 seconds away. We are trying to chase Munkus, Aiden, and Mixter out in the front, but they are definitely showing a race to be excited about. You can see now Sketch is 6.5 tenths behind me, going down the main straight. And like I said, the length of this track and the length of these straights are absolutely insane. So it definitely requires a good exit out of those corners leading into the straights to make sure you get the slipstream. And just look, now that Sketch is in the slipstream, look at how close he's going to be getting on the back of that MX-5. He is just closing and closing and closing. Look at how close he's getting to the back of this car just by hopping in that slipstream. The minute you get in that little distance, it doesn't really matter how close you are, how far away you are from the slipstream. The minute you cross over that threshold, it makes it a hell of a lot easier for you to catch the car out in front. CJ now 4 tenths behind Matthew. Matthew 6.5 seconds behind Tim in P6. Tim has a very, very comfy 6.5 seconds behind him and 5.5 seconds in front. He is in P6. I know he wants to be closer up the grid, but he's in a very, very good position now to just get some laps in, keep it clean, and then hopefully get a good position with these overtakes in the way through the pit stops. Let's jump up to our leaders now. Mixter still out in front in P1. Aiden right behind, 2.5 tenths with Munkus 5 tenths behind Aiden. Aiden's very, very close here. Very, very close here. Mixter is absolutely putting down incredible laps. His last lap was a 236.5. Aiden's was a 235.8. Oh, sorry, Mixter's 235.7 and Aiden's a 235.8. So very, very close times. Very, very close times indeed. You can see Munkus as well is 235.8. So their best lap times are literally within a tenth of each other. All three of them. Aiden going a little bit wide there, giving Mixter the chance with Munkus going a little bit further behind, 1 second behind Aiden now. Mixter getting a good opportunity to get out in front and get away from him. Now you can see Josh in P8. He's already made the move on CJ. He's now chasing down Matthew in P7. 5 tenths behind. This is going to be very, very close racing. Aiden, 3.5 tenths, going with Mixter through the fast right-hander, and this is a flat-out corner heading down to straight. You can see just absolutely how quick these cars are. Looking behind Mixter, you can see Aiden chasing him down, heading down to that hard right-hander, sorry. This is, see how close they're going to be. Aiden, is he going to make a move? I don't think he will. He's tucking in right behind. 2.5 tenths. Look at how close Aiden is staying behind Mixter's car. He wants to keep the pressure there, and he wants to try and get past as quick as possible, because now you got Munkus, who has made it up from 1.5 seconds to 8 tenths behind Aiden. These three are definitely putting on a show for us here today, and we are very, very, very lucky to be watching how clean and how good this racing is nonetheless. Josh now 2.5 tenths behind Matthew in P8, and we've got Sketch 6 tenths behind myself. Me and Sketch are going to be battling it out for P3 and P4 and P5. Sketch only 5.5 tenths, and this is going to be his chance. Is he going to make a move here again? This is going to be very, very close. You can see him. Look at Sketch. 4.5 tenths. He's going to be down to 3.5 tenths in any second now. Look at how close he's getting in that slipstream. We just crossed the start-finish line. He's now 2.5 tenths behind me. Absolutely rapid with that slipstream there. We're going to be very close going through turn 1. What is going to happen here? What is going to happen here? Sketch backs off. I get on the outside, just get past him, but it is not over yet. We actually have Josh Garner coming into pits. I can't see him having any damage, but we are 18 minutes, 19 minutes into today's session, so maybe he's stopping to get fuel. Maybe he's getting fuel. I'm not 100% sure. We're going to see exactly what happens here after Josh's pit stop. If it's a quick pit stop, it's just getting a quick bit of fuel, but I don't see any damage on his car. I can't see any problems with his vehicle. He's getting into his pit box now. Let's see exactly what happens when Josh gets back out onto the track. For now, we'll jump up further down the grid. You can see Sketch now chasing me down 4.5 tenths. I'm now 7.2 seconds behind Munkus. So they went from 3 seconds now to 4.5, now to 6.5, now 7 seconds of a difference. This is going to be almost impossible to catch them unless Sketch and I get a wriggle on and get a little bit closer to them. But we are really, really, really struggling to get any closer to the top 3. They are in their own world today and absolutely killing it. Josh now coming out of the pits, getting back out onto the grid. We have Jeff right behind. He's also in pit lane, getting out of the pits. He's just stopped to get some fuel and a fast repair. Josh now back out on the grid. I'm assuming that he's going to have fuel. I don't know if he's going to have enough fuel to finish today's race, but I'm assuming that's what's happening. You know what they say about assuming? You shouldn't do it. Aiden is in P2, still right behind Mixter, 4.5 tenths. Munkus is blipping in between 1 second and 9 tenths, closer to Aiden. This is going to be very, very tight. Mixter throwing that Mazda around. Mixter is really abusing these cars here. No wonder he's got absolutely rapid pace. He is absolutely putting so much commitment into this car. Mixter is currently still holding our fastest lap of today with a 2:35.7, followed very, very, very closely behind by Aiden at a 2:35.8. Only a tenth between their fastest laps. Absolutely insane. Munkus still has some damage to the front of his car, but we are now 20 minutes into today's race. We have just gone over the halfway mark. Are people going to start coming in now to get some fuel? I wonder how this is going to look for our pit stops, and I wonder what's going to look like for the last half of today's race. I can't see anyone coming to pits, but maybe this is happening. Maybe this is happening. It's happening right now. Mixter's coming into the pits. Aiden and Munkus coming into the pits. This is going to be the lap for pit stops. I think everyone's just used all of the fuel as absolutely possible. You can see ourselves, both me, myself, Sketch, now coming into the pits as well. Tim, is he going to be coming into the pits also? Tim is coming into the pits. Everyone has just used all of the fuel as absolutely possible to now come into pit lane and get some repairs, get some fuel, and get back out onto the track. You can see Sketch right behind me, and I don't want to spoil anything, but coming into pit lane here, I did miss my pit box. I missed it ever so slightly, which is not very, very good. You can see coming into my pit box right now, going through the safety car like it's a ghost of the night, and then heading into my pit box, you can see I stopped just a little bit too far, have to reverse, and that is crucial time that might give Sketch the opportunity to get out in front of me, which by memory, I think he does. Everybody is now in pit lane. We have Josh Garner still out on track because he's pitted a lap early. Jeff is still out on track, and then our race leader, Aiden, Mixter, and Munkus are all coming out of the pits in very quick succession. Aiden has actually made the overtake happen in pit lane. I think Aiden's made the overtake in the pit stop. He has. Does that mean Aiden's underfueled? Does that mean he's not put enough fuel in to finish today's race? Only time will tell. That is a very, very brazen move there from Aiden, but you can see him. He has now made the move. He is 1.6 seconds ahead. Monkus, 1.5 seconds behind Mixter. This has definitely spread the grid a little bit further out, and they are not now within 2/10 of each other, but almost 2 seconds apart. This is going to be a very interesting race, and now it comes down to pace, and it comes down to raw lap times. The slipstream is not going to help you here. It's going to come down to keeping it clean, getting some good laps in, and trying to maintain that 2-second gap so you can get out of that slipstream of the car behind you. Sketch has also done an incredible job. He's in P4, and he did overtake me coming through pit lane. I was now 1.1 seconds behind him because I didn't stop in time, which is just unfortunate for me, but great for Sketch. Sketch now 1 second ahead. This is such good racing so far. I'm absolutely throwing that Mazda around that left-hander. Still coming up close to Sketch, 1.1 seconds. Sketch now has a 9-second difference to Monkus. 9 seconds is absolutely insane and almost unfathomable when you think about there's only 17 minutes left in today's race. Can we bridge that gap? They seem to be getting further and further away, but I don't think Sketch and I actually even have the pace capable of catching them, let alone matching their lap times. Absolutely insane. Mixter still in P2, 1.2 seconds behind. Monkus in P3, 1.6 seconds behind. So there's about 3 seconds of a difference between P1 and P3 for the first time in today's race. Since we started today's session, it has literally been 2.5 tenths between each driver in the top 3. To now see a 1.5 second difference is very, very different. But Mixter is putting the pressure on, and he is definitely going to be chasing down Aiden up in P1. Tim now 7.5 seconds behind myself. Tim in P6, Matthew P7 with Josh Garner in P8. And Josh is out there showing why he's such a consistent driver in the Spud Cup Season 4. I'm thinking that we're 12 weeks behind, apparently. He's doing such a bloody great job. Even though he's now 4.9 seconds behind Matthew, I'm only going to give that to the end of the lap before he gets back into striking distance to make that overtake happen. Speaking of striking distance, I am now 8 tenths, 7.5 tenths behind Sketch. Let's see what happens going through the last corner here. You can see Sketch getting a little bit loose there in the last corner. Does that give us an opportunity to get closer to him in the slipstream? It does. Look at how close we're going to be catching up to him now. 4.5 tenths into the start of the main straight. Let's quickly jump to the back of Sketch's car and just see this Midnight Tune Company MX-5 chase him down. 3.5 tenths. Very, very close. Can we make 2.5 tenths before turn 1? Let's see what happens here. 2.5 tenths. I'm not quite close enough to make the overtake happen. 1.5 tenths. I might be close enough, but not. We're in the braking zone. Tucking through. Sketch goes a little bit wide. That gives me the opportunity to tuck in right behind him. Look at how close this racing is. Can I make a move on the outside? Sketch holds on the inside to defend. Now 1/10 between us. I back off a little bit. That's going to do the cutback. Is that going to give me enough pace to catch him? It is 2.5 tenths. Sketch and I, very, very close. I remember the most of this race was definitely one of those things that it was such a great race nonetheless, but I don't remember how close and how tight it was across the board. But now getting to watch this back is absolutely insane. Look at how close. You can't see a thing. The trees are everywhere. I'm calling the groundskeeper. Absolutely ridiculous. You can see Sketch on the inside. He's still out in front, but not by much. I do the switchback, trying to get back past him. Can I get on the outside of this part of the track? I don't know if I can. Look at how close this is. I cut left. Can I stick a nose in? Not quite, but Sketch does panic and gets a little bit wide. That gives me the chance to tip it in and get past him. Sketch now 6 tenths behind. I don't know if that was a dirty overtake or not. I didn't even overtake him in the corner, but Sketch, I'm sorry. That's all my fault. Mixter is now made his way 3 tenths behind Aiden. How has he done it? That is absolutely insane. He was 1.5 seconds behind less than 2 minutes ago. He is now 3 tenths behind him. Mixter's pace here today has been absolutely rapid and definitely a force to be reckoned with. This is absolutely mental. Mixter putting on the pressure here at Aiden. This is mental. Look at how close he is. Car number 18 showing it is a force to be reckoned with. Is he going to make a move up on the inside? He's not. He's still tucking in. He's still going to tuck in behind him to this right-hander heading into the final part of today's track. Really throwing this Mazda around. My God. And look at he's putting pressure on him. Aiden is feeling the pressure. My God, Mixter not holding back. Absolutely ruthless. We're going down to the final corner now. Aiden trying to hold on the inside line. Swings back to the outside to get a better line through the final apex. Mixter holding an incredible line to the final corner. And look how close he's going to get. He's going to be absolutely charging him down. Let's jump on board with our helicopter. Seeing as though all the bloody trees get in the way at every opportune time. Mixter is now side by side with Aiden. They're going to be side by side going through the start-finish line. They are. Who's going to be in front? Mixter's going to be in front through the final corner, the the first corner of our 11th lap here. 27 minutes into today's race, 13 minutes left, doing 195 kilometers here in this MX-5. Mixter on the inside makes the overtake on the first straight. Absolutely insane driving here from Mixter and Aiden. Incredible job. Absolutely incredible job. Aiden now 2.5 tenths behind Mixter, and Munkus, you can see in the distance, 1.5 seconds, chasing him down. Sketchkov now less than 4 tenths behind me. Looking at him, he's so close as well. 4.5 tenths. Absolutely mental. Josh is now going to be coming close. 6.5 seconds. Matthew, 8 tenths to Tim. There's just good driving everywhere. Absolutely great driving everywhere. Aiden, speaking of good driving, look at how close they are. I can't look away from any sort of battle that's happening because every time I do, it feels like more and more stuff starts to develop. Look at Aiden tucking in right behind him. Mixter getting very confident, going a little bit wider, but that's given Aiden the opportunity to get a cleaner line. I think it's going to come down to Aiden maybe even having a little bit less fuel. I don't know what his strategy was, and I don't know if that's even the case, but it does feel like Aiden did fuel less than everybody else because it is making it very, very difficult to the corners. It looks like Aiden's performing a lot more understeer and drifting out a little bit more. Is not sort of pushing into those corners as much. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure here. Who am I? What's my opinion? I'm just talking about a race car race that happened virtually. What am I even talking about? Sketch in P5, still 5 tenths behind him. This is very, very close. This is going to be such a good race, such a good finish. 28.5 minutes into our 40-minute session. We are coming down to the last 10 minutes of today's race. We are only 11 laps in, but with a 2.5 minute lap, it is definitely going to show that you don't get many opportunities. You're going to get you're only going to get about 15 laps, I think, maybe even 16 laps of today's race to make this stick, make this happen. Sketch now 7 tenths behind myself. This is so close. I'm 12.5 seconds behind Munkus in P3, which, like I said before, I knew they were going to get a lead, and I knew they were going to pull away. We can't even match their lap times, let alone beat them to close that gap and get closer. They are just running away with this lead. Aiden's still in P2 now, 3 tenths behind Mixter, going into the final corner, jumping back up with our helicopter because that gives our chopper view the best view to see what these cars are doing. Aiden backs out a little bit. I think he turned in a little bit early and then backed out just ever so slightly to get back on the racing line. But you can see him now chasing down Mixter. 155, 160 kilometers an hour in this MX-5 on the first straight. Look at how close he is. A little bit of bump drafting there. So close. You can barely see the front of Aiden's car. You can't see the front of Aiden's car. It was less than half a tenth between them. It looks like they're bloody kissing. Yeah, guys, this is absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. That is so close. Aiden now 3 tenths behind Mixter going through turn 1. Incredible lap so far. Absolutely incredible. Last laps there for Mixter was a 236.8. Aiden was a 236.8. The only difference is Mixter's was a 236.82 and Aiden's was a 236.87. Very, very close laps. Very, very close laps. Munkus is now doing laps. His last lap was a 236.3, which makes me feel like Munkus did put less fuel, but maybe trying to save some fuel. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure we'll find out by the end of today's race. He is now 8 tenths behind Aiden, so he's definitely catching up. He's definitely catching up. This is going to be very, very close. I cannot wait to see what happens here with the guys in this last couple of laps. We're now 30 minutes into our race. We have 9.5 minutes left. We have finally closed in on our final 10 minutes. Let's jump to myself and Sketch because this is going to be a very, very close race here. Sketch is now 5 tenths behind myself. P4 for me, P5 for Sketch. There is now a 14-second difference between Munkus in P3 and me in P4. Absolutely mental. Absolutely mental. Just when I think I'm getting confident in these MX-5s, the guys turn around and show me why I shouldn't be. Sketch now chasing me down very, very close. Munkus is now 5.5 tenths to Aiden in P2. Aiden now 7.5 tenths to Mixter in P1. This is absolutely mental. Let's jump to our sectors and see what our sectors look like here for the top 3. You can see Aiden is slower in sector 1, 2, and 3 than Mixter. Munkus is faster in sectors 2 and 3 than both Aiden and Mixter. This is so impressive in these racing. You can see Mixter doing a bloody great job, still holding our fastest lap by a 10th. Incredible driving here from Mixter. Absolutely insane. Aiden's going to get an opportunity here to get a little bit closer through this final corner, and this is one of those corners that if you tap, oh, there he is. I was going to say if you touch the dirt, the whole rear end of the car comes out, and every single freaking one of them did it. That is absolutely mental. No wonder I can't keep up with their lap times because they're absolutely flying. Absolutely incredible. Let's jump to Sketch now. You can see Sketch 3.5 tenths behind myself. This is very, very close here, coming through the final part of today's track, heading into the final corner, jumping on board with our chopper cam. We get a better look of what's going on here from a bird's eye view. You can see Sketch putting the absolute pressure on. Final corner here, coming through here, trying to get as much pace as we can, hitting that line as best as possible, going a little bit further out. Monkus has now beaten our fastest lap of the race with a 2:35.6. He has beaten the previous lap record by another 10th. Absolutely insane, and it definitely goes towards my thinking that Monkus was trying to save some fuel. We'll see what happens here with our top three, but now Sketch getting the opportunity to overtake through turn one. He's on the outside, I'm on the inside. There's less than half a tenth between us going through turn one. I'm not backing out, neither is Sketch. I thought we were going to nudge, but we didn't. Sketch getting on the outside. I still have the advantage. I'm still on the advantage going through turn two. This is going to be so close. I remember these last couple of laps from Sketch and myself being such good racing that even Sketch and I both said the same thing once the race had finished, that it was just such a good drive regardless of the result. It was fun to do and an incredible competition. Now you can see Sketch. He is literally side by side with me. There is a 1/1000th of a second between us. Absolutely mental. Sketch getting past me on the back straight here, heading into that hard left. What is going to happen? What is this left-hander going to look like? Sketch on the inside. I'm going on a wide line on the outside, but I do a cutback, trying to get back on the inside of Sketch. We nudge ever so slightly, but I got the cutback on the inside, going up the hill, through the bridge, into this left-hander. I'm going to have the advantage, and I reclaim the position. I am so happy with that, and I know Sketch is as well. It's just one of those moments that when there's good racing like that even though there was a slight little nudge, it was nothing too crazy, and the racing is definitely going to be nice and close between the two of us. Sketch now getting up on the inside. Can he make the move stick? He can't quite get it to happen. I'm now 3.5-4 tenths in front of him, getting a little bit further ahead. I'm still in P4, Sketch in P5. We are now 34 minutes. There is only 6 minutes left of today's race, which is only another 2.5 laps. This is going to be very, very close across the board. Jumping up to our race leader, Mixter is absolutely killing it. He has a 3.5 second gain on Aiden in P2. Monkus is now 8.5 tenths behind Aiden as well. This is very, very close. You can't pick it. You have no idea who's going to take home the checkered flag. I can almost guarantee you that the podium is definitely sorted. Mixter, Aiden, and Monkus will be our podium finishers, but we have no idea what position they're in, because Monkus could turn around at the end of next lap and take out P1. He could fly straight past them. We have no idea what these guys are capable of. Well, we do know what they're capable of, and that's the concern. We know exactly how quick they could be, but I don't know how much they're going to be able to make it happen. Matthew now 2.5 tenths behind Tim, tucking in right behind him. Tim now has a 12-second distance between him and Sketchkov, so Matthew and Tim are battling for position. Sketch and myself are battling for position, and our top three are battling it out. Aiden, speaking of, is still tucked in right behind Mixter. Look at how close they are going through turn one. 3.5 tenths, 4 tenths. Monkus is now only 2.5 tenths behind Aiden. I don't know where he came from. I don't know where he pulled up all this time, but now he's back in contention to be gaining more positions up this podium and getting a little bit closer in the last couple of minutes of today's race. We are 35 minutes in, almost 4.5 minutes left of today's race. Jumping down to Matthew in P7. He's going to be side by side in a second here with Tim. Is he going to make the move happen? Is he going to make the movie happen? He can't quite get it to stick. But Matthew is still 2.5 tenths behind Tim, tucking it in right behind him, trying to get that slipstream and trying to get a little bit closer. This is just one of those things that it's anybody's race. We have no idea who's going to be overtaking people in the last couple of laps, but it is all or nothing. Flat out now. You have no more opportunities. It is right now or never. You have to get that move stuck, and you have to hold off that position before the end of today's race. It is all going to come undone if you don't. Sketchkov, 4.5 tenths behind myself, very, very close. 7 tenths, he goes a little bit wide. I get a better line through that left-hander going uphill into this further left. This is going to be very tight. Aiden now 4.5 tenths behind Monkus. Aiden 4.5 tenths behind Mixter, and Monkus 4.5 tenths behind Aiden. Let's quickly jump up to our leaders now. You can see Aiden is 2 tenths behind Mixter going through this double right. This is going to be so close, so close. We are 36.5 minutes into our 40-minute session. There is only 3.5 minutes left of today's race, which is only going to be 2 more laps. We have 1 more full lap, followed by our final lap here at Road America. Aiden 1.5 tenths behind Mixter. Very, very close. Matthew makes a move on Tim. Going to get it to stick. Tim regains his position, gets back past Matthew, heading into the double right here. Very, very close racing. Is there going to be P7? Is he going to be P6? Matthews out here battling for that last minute opportunity. Can he make it happen? So, same as well as Sketchkov. Sketchkov is 4.5 tenths, and Munkus is now 1.5 tenths behind Aiden. He has no damage to the front of his car. He's had his fast repair. Going through the final turn, what is going to happen here? Last corner here. In this, in the second last lap, I'm thinking Munkus is 4.5 tenths behind Aiden. This is so close. So close. We are just about to start our second last lap before the leaders get their white flag. We have 2.5 minutes left here of the race here at the Road America. This is going to be so close. So close. Mixer doing a lap of 236.8, Aiden 237.3, and Munkus 237 flat. That is where the times are getting mixed up. Matthew is now 3.5 tenths behind Tim. Sketch 3.5 tenths behind myself. Look at how close this driving is. Absolutely insane. Sketch closing in on me down the final straight. This is going to be very close here. I saw some flags getting waved. I don't know if that is the checkered flag, or sorry, not the checkered flag, the white flag. I think that is white flag. I think we are now on our final lap here at Road America. Sketchkov getting out in front through turn 1. This is so close. Absolutely insane. Sketchkov has made his way up to P4. He's just had the white flag waved. This is our last lap here at Road America. Matthew is still 2.5 tenths behind Tim on the last lap. I'm 3.5 tenths behind Sketch on the last lap. And Munkus, Aiden, and... Oh, Aiden's got it. Munkus has made the move. Munkus on the inside. Aiden on the out, going through the left-hander. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Oh my God, can Munkus make it happen? He can't. Munkus still in P3. This is so close. I'm making a move on the outside. This is going to be so tight. Is Sketch going to hold on? Sketch does hold on. He gets out in front. Sketch is now out in front. I'm going to have to tuck in behind him. Sketch on the inside here to the left-hander. There is 1.5 tenths behind us. I try to take a dive up on the left, but I can't quite get close enough to make it stick. Sketch holding me off. Less than a tenth between us. Matthew makes a move on Tim. Going through the left-hander here. Tim doing the cutback and gets past Matthew. Tim is now back in the lead. He's back into P6. He's going to be on the inside. He gets it done. I'm now less than a tenth between me and Sketch. This is absolutely insane. Final lap things, am I right? Oh my God. I get the cutback on Tim. Oh, sorry, I get the cutback on Sketch. There is literally a 1/1000th of a second between us. This is absolutely insane. Sketch getting the ideal line here through the double right. I'm going to try and tuck in right behind Sketch and see if we can make this happen. Munkus, very close here. What is going to happen? This is so tight. Going through the right-hander here, Munkus and Aiden touch. Not too bad, but they touch. That gives Munkus the opportunity to get out into P2. This is absolutely insane. I go a little bit wide. That gives Sketch the opportunity to get past me. This is mental. This is absolutely mental. Matthew is still in P7, 2.5 tenths behind Tim. You've got the Munkus in P2 coming into the final corner of today's race. That is absolutely nuts. Is Aiden close enough to capitalize on that slipstream? Is he going to be able to cross the line in P3, or is he going to make it close enough to catch him? I don't think he will. That is absolutely mental. Munkus has solidified his P2 position. Let's jump down to Sketch and myself. We have final corner here for me and Sketch. Sketch goes a little bit wide. I'm chasing him down. We've got 2.5 tenths going into the final last stretch of today's race. This is so close. There's a tenth between us. We are so close heading down the last final straight. I get past Sketch in P4. Checkered flag is waved, and that is P4 for myself. P5 for Sketch. After an absolutely insane battle the last couple of laps, there is only half a car between Sketch and myself in P4 and 5. That was absolutely mental. Let's jump further down the grid. You can see, can Matthew make it happen? He can't. Matthew less than a tenth behind Tim. He can't quite get past him. That is absolutely insane. There is less than a tenth between Matt and Tim. Less than a tenth between me and Sketch. That is absolutely mental. Incredible driving from everybody here today. I cannot believe it all came out in the last couple of laps of today's race. That is absolutely incredible racing. That is what we're here for. That is why we enjoy the Spud Cup, and that is why these Mazdas were the perfect choice for Season 4 here at the Spud Cup. Absolutely insane racing. Let's jump to our feature results and see exactly what the grid is going to look like for the final results here at Road America. You got Mixter in P1 with Munkus getting his P2 finish all in the last lap. Did he mean it? Was it luck? We have no idea, but he nailed it and did such a great job. Aiden in P3 rounding out our podium positions. I've got myself in P4 with Sketch right behind with less than a 10th in the final stretch of that final lap. Tim holding on to his position in P6. We've got Josh in P7, CJ in P8, and Matthew in P9. I don't know if there was a bit of an issue with Matthew going across the line or what the deal was with those drivers there, but I swear it was very, very close to the last little stretch of the race. We'll have to go back and see what exactly happened with that little part of the race there for them too. But incredible driving nonetheless. Mixter, incredible win, incredible lead. He did such a great job, and I want to quickly point out that the top 3 drivers were 20 seconds ahead of myself and Sketch in P4 and 5. Absolutely rapid here today at Road America. Incredible driving and well done. Now looking at this, changing up a lot of our championship standings, let's jump to our championship points and see exactly who is going to be in charge of Season 4 here after our Round 6 here at Road America. So here we are with our Season 4 standings. You can see Yearn in P1 with 114 championship points, followed closely behind by Michael with 107 championship points, and myself in P3 with 106 championship points. Both me and Michael are chasing it down, and only a point between us, with Yearn at 114 points with his 3 wins out of our 6 races. It is very, very clear as to why he's out in front and absolutely killing it with his champion points so far. Incredible driving, incredible job, and an incredible team to be doing this championship with. Absolutely insane. If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up. Also subscribe. These videos get posted every single week and you do not want to miss them. If you guys want to come and join these races live, we stream them every single Friday. All the information will be in the description below. Come and check it out and let us know you found this video. If you want to find any social media for us or the Spud Cup, all of those links will be in the description below. Come and let us know you found the team. Come and join any of the Spud Cup races if you feel free to. There is no pressure, but it is open to everybody. Other than that, guys, I'm going to leave you all to it. I will see you next week. Bye!